These quick and easy tuna cakes are tender, delicious and loaded with flavor. Hi, you're watching Plating It with Wendy, where I share with you recipes which impress with ease. These tuna cakes come together in minutes, so let's get started. For this recipe, we're going to be using 3 cans of solid white tuna. If you have flaky tuna handy, that would work too. You could even use salmon if you wanted for this recipe. We're going to drain out all the water. Let's empty the tuna into a bowl and we're going to mix all the ingredients in this bowl. Since we're using solid tuna, we're going to smash it down so that it becomes a little bit more flaky. I think this is looking just right. To help the tuna cakes bind together, we're going to be using the breadcrumbs of 3 slices of fresh bread. We're just going to cut it down so we can put it into our little mini chopper and make it into breadcrumbs. I love using fresh breadcrumbs for this recipe because it gives the tuna cakes that lovely tender texture. Since the onion is really huge, I'm going to go in with half an onion. I'm just going to cut the onion up into big bits and then toss it into the chopper and chop it up fine. This is my favorite hack for chopping onions. Now let's toss the onions into the bowl. For a little spice, we're going to be adding in 2 green chilies. I'm just going to give this to a rough chop and add it to the chopper. Along with the chilies, I'm going to add about 5 garlic cloves and I'm just going to clean them and add them to the chopper. Just going to add this along with the rest of the ingredients. For that extra flavor and a pop of color, we're going to be adding half a red bell pepper. Just going to give it a rough chop. I'm going to be putting this too into the chopper. Now let's toss in the bell peppers along with the rest. Now to make our tuna cakes nice and moist, we're going to be adding in 2 tomatoes. But we're going to take out the seeds because we don't want them getting too mushy. I decided not to put the tomatoes into the chopper because it tends to become a little bit more pasty in the chopper. I feel that chopping it by hand keeps it a little bit more firm. Now let's add this to the bowl. To give our tuna cakes that nice fresh flavor, we're going to add in a bunch of cilantro and we're going to chop it down nice and fine. Just going to add that in with the rest of the ingredients. Let's season this up with the juice of half a lemon, about half a teaspoon of Dijon mustard, some salt, and pepper to taste. Now to bring this all together and help it to bind, we're going to add 3 large eggs. We're just going to give the eggs a light beat because that's going to make it easier for it to mix up with the rest of the ingredients. Just going to lightly mix up all these ingredients first before we add the eggs to it. The burst of all these colors is going to make the tuna cakes look so delicious once they're fried and ready. Now let's just add the egg in. We're just going to give this a good mix so the egg gets a chance to bind all of the ingredients together. These tuna cakes are so delicious and really easy to put together. They can be prepared just in time when you want to eat them, or they can be prepared ahead of time too and refrigerated and then had just when you need them. Okay, this looks just perfect. So now let's start forming the tuna cakes. In a bowl, we're going to beat up 3 eggs. We're going to be dipping the cakes into the beaten eggs before we coat it with the breadcrumbs. Just going to put some breadcrumbs down on this. And I'm going to use a trigger release ice cream scoop just so that we get uniform size of tuna cakes. You don't need to do it. Okay, so we dipped it into the egg and now straight into the breadcrumbs. Now using a knife, I'm just going to shape it down. Just going to lift it and keep it to one side while we prepare the next one. Again, into the beaten egg, and then into the breadcrumbs. Coat it well with the breadcrumbs all around. Just going to form it again. Keep it to one side. We're going to be frying these in batches of 4. So as soon as you have 4 prepped, add some vegetable oil to a heated skillet and let's fry them. Since the only thing that needs to really cook in these tuna cakes is the egg, it doesn't take too long to fry. As soon as you find that it's golden brown on one side, you're going to flip it over and allow it to fry on the other side. Once they get that lovely golden color on both sides, we're going to lift them off the pan and place them in a plate on a paper towel so that any excess oil will be absorbed. Now let's plate these crispy tuna cakes. And look at that. Now let's give these delicious tuna cakes a taste. Oh, it's nice and crispy on the outside. Nice and soft on the inside. Wow. And all the burst of colors, all the peppers and the tomato. Hey, and before I go, if you're new to my channel or haven't subscribed already, subscribe and don't forget to hit on that bell icon because then you'll get a notification every time I upload a new video. If you enjoy watching my videos, don't forget to give me a big thumbs up and leave me your comments below. Follow me on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. The information is in the description below. Thanks for watching. See you soon.